Hey guys, just wanted to say thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to pitch you on some branding work. I would love to get my hands on Fountainhead and do some fun branding and hang out with y'all. What I thought I would do is walk you through my branding process. I took some time this week to set up my old branding workshop so that y'all can see some work that I've done, some logo and illustration stuff that I've done for clients. But I thought it also might be useful for you to see one of my most recent branding projects. This is something that I did 2 years ago. I walked a video game website called Deku Deals. They were thinking about rebranding and calling themselves Savepoint. We walked through the entire brand identity process. So I thought I'd take like maybe 5-10 minutes, walk you through that process, let you know kind of what you can expect when you're working with me and how we can work together, like how you can get the most out of branding if you want to do this. So um, here's the project. What I like to do first is a brand strategy workshop. This is something I've already told y'all this, I think, but we were doing a lot of discovery work in the agency that I founded with my friend. We were doing a lot of discovery work at the forefront whenever we would engage with a client, and we weren't getting paid for it. Like a lot of it was like we're pitching the client to do stuff, and I was like, we need to get paid for this work. How can we do that? So I ended up building workshops, and so this was the branding workshop that I built, and this was really helpful for us because it was a way where we could do the discovery work really quickly alongside the client instead of like emailing them back and forth, and it enabled us to learn a whole lot. So this thing, the client was remote. There's a guy in Seattle, a guy in Chicago, another guy in like California or something. And so we did it remotely. The exercise I usually start off with is hopes and fears. We just kind of talk about what do you hope to get out of branding? What are you afraid of? This is really nice because it brings up a lot of conversations and a lot of expectations that I might have or the client might have that are unspoken. And so we get to talk about these things. We identify themes and have some aligning conversations that can be really helpful. This is probably the most important thing that we do. This is what, how, and why. We talk about what they make, how they make it, maybe a key differentiator for how they make it, what separates them from their competitors, and then why they make it. Why is the most important. The why, if you can get to the why of your brand, the why of the story that you're trying to tell, then that story will become that much more compelling. That's the kernel that you're trying to communicate to your client with your with your branding. So then we go 10-year roadmap. We talk about what they want to do in 10 years. We talk about their target audience. Who is the target audience? Maybe it's a single customer. Maybe it's a group of customers. And then we map out each of those customers. So in this case, we had several. There's a casual gamer, enthusiast, collector, developer, influencer. Um, then we go into brand values and we talk about, okay, what are all the things that you value as a company, as a brand? We try to reduce it down to three. Um, do some personality sliders, which can be just helpful directionally for the brand. And then the last thing we do is brand archetype. So where do you? There's a bunch of different ones of these. This is the one that I like to use. There's like I've seen one with like 16 or 20, but this 12 brand archetypes can be helpful. Just associating you with different brands and how those brands position themselves. So after this, we will I will put together a kind of research readout. So I'll take the learnings that we did in the branding workshop, and I'll just kind of read them back to the client. So we'll go here, and I'll include stuff. In this case, I did research on competitors. Who are these competitors? How are they different from um, the client? You know, maybe they're not a direct competitor, but they're like in the field. So like Kotaku's not necessarily a direct competitor with Deku Deals, but there's something that's related to Deku Deals. Then kind of reduce down the brand to a belief, a mission, a vision, values, and archetype. Read these out to the client, and we have that conversation. Hey, is this what we believe? This is kind of what we discussed in the branding workshop. Is this what we believe? Are these our values? Clarity, insight, community, enthusiasm. And then is this our archetype? Are we the sage explorer? Are we trying to help our customers, find the games that they're looking for and discover new experiences? And then the last thing is where we go from there. So taking that information, distilling that, those ideas from the branding workshop, and trying to give a general idea, like a little mood board of like where we might take it. So in this case, like video game maps was cool, isometric grids was cool, and very poppy, bright colors, illustration, that kind of thing. I was getting really excited about this stuff. So I'll present this to the client. We'll have conversations. This will be really good. They're like, hey, we like this. Oh, we don't like this. Oh, we really like this. Oh, can you combine these two ideas? That's great. Then I'll go back and I'll do some concept sketching. So I'll sketch out some ideas and we'll do some development. So a lot of times I'll bring, maybe 1 to 3 ideas. Hey, this is what I'm thinking. Here's how I'm thinking it will work. In this case, we wanted to do some kind of mark that was, connected to video games. It felt like a save, some kind of point in a video game where you would save. And so I kept coming back to like the D-pad and trying to do some kind of deconstruction of the D-pad. I really liked playing with this like isometric typography. But just presenting this to the client, hey, what do you like? What do you not like? Presenting different things. There's some legibility issues that they picked up on. I freaking love making like little voxel typefaces. It's super fun. I did some illustration just for fun to see if how they would respond. They kind of like the illustration stuff, and we just evolved the brand. So I'll continue to sketch and play and push, and we just kind of keep evolving the brand. This one was the one that I liked. This is what I liked. We didn't go with that. This is what I wanted. This is I really wanted this to be the branding, but we didn't go with that, and that made me sad. We didn't go very far from it, but like this kicks. Look at this. This kicks ass. I freaking love this. But did some more illustration. Talked about ads. Ads is a major way that they make revenue. And then did some more concept sketches. So we really pushed. They really wanted like Futura or something boring. This was hard. There were 3 guys, and they all had very different perspectives on where they wanted to take the brand. So kind of we liked the D-pad, and so we're kind of combining the D-pad with different ideas. So conceptually combining it with a compass rose, combining it with like a map waypoint, combining it with some kind of jewel or gem. This was the kind of, they were like, hey, this isn't very legible. So I built a more legible version. I loved this. But we went with something a little more flat. I wonder. I don't know. We'll see where we landed. We keep evolving. This is where what they really like, the like waypoint, which this is not bad. I was pretty proud of this mark. And then instead of going with like the kind of pixelated logo type, I think we ended up going with something a little safer. Made me sad. Yeah. So this is where we're moving. This is the direction that we're moving in. Which like, I mean, this is cool, dude. Freaking, where was it? this, this versus this. I just love this one. I just really like that one. Okay. Anyway, I might go back to that and make my own Savepoint brand. This is where we landed. And then you had some conversations back and forth with the client. There was one of the guys that wanted some more mark explorations, some flatter mark explorations. So we kind of explored that a little bit. We also talked about like a little mascot guy that could be paired with the branding. Pushed the mark a little bit, made it a little more square. And there's a lot of like rework and revision, and just one of the guys just really wanted a much safer direction for the brand than where I was hoping to go. But here's where we landed. This is where the mark was finalized. Which this looks cool. This is cool. I rounded off the logo type a little bit to match the kind of rounded edges of the mark, but made sure we had a black and white version. And then we kind of went on to some other projects. So made a mascot guy. These were different sketches for the mascot guy. I think I ended up refining that and turning it into an actual thing. Playing with redesigning the website, so being very inspired by New Brutalism and just kind of trying to have a lot of fun with the illustrations and textures that I was building with the branding. And then illustrations, did some like little illustrations for fun for the brand. Here's the mark in color and black and white. Did a little website design system for them, and that's where we ended. And so I packaged all of this stuff up and put it into a brand guidelines document for them. So we've got the guidelines. This kind of gives rules around the logo, around colors, around how to use the logo, different tints of the colors that you can use, typography, illustrations, how to use illustrations, and then we've got some components and styling for the system. So this is what I actually handed over to the client. This has all of the assets and stuff that they needed. So anyway, that's the branding process. I would love to talk to y'all more if y'all are interested. If you're not, that's totally cool too. I know that y'all are building this thing. You got clients in the pipeline. So if you don't have time for this, that totally makes sense to me. But like I said when we talked last week, man, I would love to build some cool stuff with you guys. I would love to ship some work. And so if there's an opportunity for us to work together, that would be really fun. So I hope y'all had a great weekend, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks.